into how we can be consistent. So, and I'm saying this one is so from personal experience. Okay, this is if anything, it's my ambition's not held me back. Well, in some ways it has, because I've been so ambitious that I've set unrealistic expectations so many times for myself that I would try to be consistent, but eventually I would burn out because it was just too much, and I couldn't be consistent for a long enough period of time. And the only way you're going to be consistent enough for a long enough period of time for the changes that you're trying to take place to really hold and not feel like changes anymore, okay, which is ultimately that's what you're trying to achieve with anything that you're working on. Eventually, you want it to feel natural again, is that takes time. And in order for you to be able to handle the amount of time that that takes, you are going to have to be extremely realistic with the expectations you set. And you're going to have to know your capabilities. Now, this does not mean aim small, because you're working towards a lofty goal in the end, but you're breaking it down into um, different essential components, okay? And you have to work towards those components in a realistic way over a long period of time to achieve your goals, okay? And this is especially true when you're working on the golf swing, guys. If you're working on a grip change, I mean, a very small grip change can have numerous effects in various different places in the golf swing. That might be all. I mean, one time I worked on a grip change for 8 months when I was 13. It took me 8 months before I could hit the ball well again with the grip change. I don't remember focusing on a whole lot else other than just instinctively learning how to hit the ball again with a new grip. It was a rough period of time, but I had the same idea. I stuck with it, and after a while, it was the way I played golf for a long period of time. Okay, and once you go through that with one thing, it does become easier. Now, when I make changes, it takes less time. I'm able to hone in on the correct ideas more easily as I've gotten to know myself better, and it makes setting those realistic expectations easier, and you set them just more accurately for yourself. So don't be afraid to mess up a little bit. Your ideas are gonna change. You're gonna have an idea that you thought was realistic, you thought it was well thought out, and then it turns out it's not. Don't beat yourself up about that. I'm guilty of that too. That's not going to be helpful for you either. Okay, so give yourself some room to learn yourself, make mistakes, go through a process, but you're trying to set a goal that is realistic, that you can accomplish every day. If you're just getting to exercise, you're not going to just start working out an hour and a half every day. Or do not copy what a professional athlete does, like Bryson DeChambeau working out, 2 and 3 times a day for over an hour each time. I mean, that will hurt you. Don't try to do things like that. If you're working on practicing a technique in your golf game, chip away at it. I love when people work very focused and dedicated for 15, 30 minutes, 45 minutes at a time, taking breaks, keeping their mind sharp the whole time, rather than just hitting lots of shots for long periods of time. I don't really see golfers get better when they hit 2, 3, and 4 large buckets of balls. They usually start actually getting worse at a certain point. It's a lot of swinging, and the pros that you see do that, they've built up to that. They didn't start off that way, and they've been doing it consistently for a long period of time, just like we're talking about. So anyway, set realistic goals, get better slowly over time. The most important thing is when you do it this way, the changes that you make will take hold permanently. They'll be with you. If you try to get it all done like you cram for a test, you didn't learn anything. You don't remember the information. You might have passed the test and then it's gone. You really don't want that when you're working on serious things that can really positively shape your life. Okay? So tomorrow we're going to break this idea down even further, okay? And we're going to work on how to set an agenda and prioritize the different tasks that you might set, realistic goals, realistic tasks that you might set, how to prioritize them, what things to look for. All right, guys? All right. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Thank you.